Happy Friday! Welcome to the 3 Things I Learned in Saas Sports Tech and Lab events. This week we're going to talk about advisors and advisory boards. As we talked about in the past, becoming an entrepreneur, an angel investor, an investor, and advisor is something that's become very sexy, especially with the proliferation of shows like Shark Tank and all the other incubators that are out there. We've been working with advisors for about 15 years now. What we've learned in working with advisors is they can either be exponentially accretive to what you're doing and offer way more value than you could ever imagine, or they can just be a giant waste of time. So what we want to share this week are some of the things that we learned in working with advisors, some of the mistakes we made, and some of the massive success we had both for us and for the advisor. Number 1, and the most controversial, all equity requires skin in the game. Being an advisor is a sexy thing now, especially if you're somebody who hasn't done anything entrepreneurially and you're trying to get involved in startups. And so a lot of advisors will come to you and offer them their time, services, and connections, and they're going to want to be paid to do it. And that's great. We paid all of our advisors and we gave them equity too. But any advisor who's going to really contribute the at least an hour a month that you need and really be bought into what you're doing to the point where they're going to care about you and your business, it requires an investment from them. Doesn't need to be anything significant. If you're a small business, it can be $10,000 or $20,000. But all advisors require skin in the game. Otherwise, they're just vendors, and there's plenty of room for those vendors, and you should work with them as well. That's number 1. Number 2, start right away. Don't procrastinate with advisory boards. This seems like something that's to the side of what you're doing in your current business because you're trying to keep the trains moving. But if you have a wonderful advisory board, they're going to save you time, money, and energy, and they're going to help you keep the trains moving. So what I would suggest, what I would do when I do it again, is go reach out to 5 people every week for the first 6 months. If you do this, obviously a lot of people aren't going to respond, but if you do this, I can guarantee you that within a year, you're going to have a pretty killer advisory board. That's number 2. Number 3, I'm going to read this one. Define what kind of advisor they are. Are they operational? Are they business development? Are they bringing you introductions? Are they a vanity influencer advisor, somebody who looks sexy that helps bring you business and brings that trust transfer? Are they personal care advisors, somebody who's been through this before who can take care of you and your executive team as you go through the highs and lows? And make sure you have a balance of each. Too often advisory boards have 5 really sexy names and it looks nice in the press release, but it doesn't help you get where you need to go. If you can get a balance of those kinds of advisors, you're going to get the exponential returns that you're looking for. 4, take total responsibility for communication. Great advisors are busy. That's why we want them to be advisors. They've had a lot of success in what they've done in the past. They're part of your team. Treat them as such. Company updates, send them on. Make sure they're invited to company events, even if they're informal ones where you're having happy hours. Introduce them to your team. Often this is backwards. People think because I bring on an advisor and I'm paying she or he in stock or equity, that they're going to reach out to me and that they're going to earn that. That's not how it works. They're generally very, very busy. You take charge of communication right away and make sure they feel involved, and you will get a lot more from those advisors. Number 5, most important, listen. When you get good advisors, they're going to give you honest feedback. Sometimes you're not going to like it. I've had a few pretty exciting calls with our advisors over time, and we've had some successful advisory relationships where advisors have made $1 million or more in working with us for a short period of time, putting in an hour or 2 a month. Now we're dear friends. I rely on them for just about everything, and they can really help your business. So if you focus on these things that we learned from the mistakes we made and the successes we had with our advisory board, I guarantee you're going to get exponential returns, and they're going to come relatively quickly. That's it this week for the 3 Things. We'll see you all next week.